Just Mike Konopka here. 1 o'clock update on Sunday, February 16th. Hope you guys are enjoying this awful weather that we're having here. A little rain, as you can see on the radar, making its way out north. Will be cleared out by later this evening, and then in moves some high wind. We are in a high wind advisory or warning until tomorrow morning. So you expect some gusty winds up to 50 or 60 miles an hour at times, so just be careful of that. But this update is not about the current storm, it's about the one coming up in the next couple days here. I did an update yesterday, and it's amazing what 24 hours can do, because in the last 24 hours we've seen major changes in our computer models and what the agreement has kind of diverged into. So we'll dive in from that right off the bat here. So to start, we're going to start with the upper level vorticity. This is just, in layman's terms, the upper level winds and what the tendency of the air is to do here. So for every low pressure system at the surface, there is an upper level low associated with it, it can be kind of signified by this trough here. You can kind of see this big dip. That's our upper level trough. And the direction of the low at the surface is going to be dependent upon how this upper level low develops into a deep trough with like a really big deep U shape, or is going to be more flat. And the tendency this season, as you guys I'm sure are aware, have to be more flat, and then what's going to happen with that, the lower surface low is going to travel kind of straight across and not be brought up the coast. It's going to kind of stay in the southern swath here and scoot through Northern Virginia and DC and Delaware, and kind of miss the upper Mid-Atlantic states, Jersey, Pennsylvania, and into Long Island and southern New England. And that's kind of been the trend this season, as we all are aware. This area down here, Virginia, DC, you've gotten hammered with snow. You're above your average snowfall already. So that's what can happen and what has happened. And what our snow lovers, what we're looking for is a big, deep trough up here as it develops into a bigger U shape, which is going to bring that surface low more north, hug it near the coast, and that's when we get the higher snowfall total. So that's really what we're looking for and what the difference is in some of these models. So the one I have up here right now is the NAM, which is a short-range model. This is as far out as it goes, which is Wednesday night at 7 p.m. And this, I have this one up here first just to show you some of the differences in the models. The latest runs have come out. They were run at 7 a.m. and the latest one, the Euro, just came out, was published about a half an hour ago. So we're looking at 1:30 p.m. on Sunday. So as we jump through these, again, here we have the NAM, and we jump to the Euro, and this is, you can see at the same time frames, Wednesday night at 7 p.m., you can certainly see the difference in the shape of this trough, right? So the Euro is a little bit more on a negative tilt here, and it's a little bit deeper, so it looks more like a U shape, versus the NAM, which is kind of straight right here. The axis of the trough is kind of straight and not as deep. And then if I head over to the GFS, again, very similar to the NAM, where it's not super deep. The axis of the trough is still positive, so it's tilted this way, and it kind of goes straight across. And as these develop, I'll start with the GFS and just kind of click forward here, and you can see how these black lines, these isotropic heights, they're kind of flat. They're not much of a dip, right? Kind of come straight across the country, maybe a little dip here, and that's going to be a big difference from the Euro model, which I go back here and I just click forward here. And you can clearly see there's a big U shape here, and that trough dives down deeper. Now, what that means, again, at the surface is you have different paths of your surface low. the more flat type of trough is going to keep that storm to the south of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and keep it as a southern slider and kind of push it out to sea. And as this low, if the upper level low deepens, as the Euro shows here, is going to draw it in a little bit closer and keep it hugged against the coast. And the difference in these two models at the surface is fairly large. So if we head to the surface and we look at the GFS, okay, here's our GFS model at the surface. Here's our surface low. And you can see these red and blue lines here. These are the lines that we were kind of just looking at, okay, at 500 millibar level, our upper level low. And you can see how they're just kind of straight across, not much of a dip to it. And if I scroll back a little bit, you'll see how the low forms off the coast and just kind of heads on out. And in the GFS model, again, Delaware, eastern shores of Maryland, southern New Jersey, they do get hit, but it keeps this low kind of fairly off the coast where most of the snow is actually out over the Atlantic Ocean. And we can keep going and you can see how it progresses there. If we head to the Euro, I'll scroll back a little bit and you can see how this progresses here. And again, you can see these red and blue lines here. These are our 500 millibar heights. And you can see more of a dip. And there it is. Much different from the GFS. And what that does is, as I scroll forward, it keeps the low closer, not super close, but closer to the coast, which is going to keep that heavy snowfall, not necessarily over the Atlantic Ocean, but on the coast, on the shores of New Jersey, maybe Long Island, Delaware, Maryland, and Eastern Virginia. And that's, again, showed in our snowfall totals. If I head to the GFS for the Northeast, you can see, again, most of that snow stays to the south of New Jersey, maybe Cape May, Atlantic counties get a little bit of it, and then it heads out into the Atlantic. And you can just see the path of that swath of snow, right? It's east to west, or sorry, rather west to east. Maybe there's a little northeast trend in that, but it's not that north up the coast storm that we're looking for. The Euro is still kind of holding on a little bit. Changes that axis of that heavy snow to more southwest to northeast, and you still have a little bit of a hit here. Again, Delaware, eastern Maryland, Virginia, and southern coastal New Jersey, you look like you're going to, if the Euro model, again, kind of plays out, this is what you're looking at. It all comes down to that upper level low and how that deepens or refuses to deepen as we keep going through the next couple of days here. The next day and a half really are going to be very telling about what scenario we're most likely to have. The Euro clearly has that snow in the low center close to the coast, has that upper level low deepening, and has more of an impactful snowfall for the Northeast. The models come out every 6 hours, so the data was input at 1 p.m., so we can expect some of our first short-range models, the NAM, for example, to come out within the next hour, and then the GFS and Euro will come out in the next couple hours, so we'll keep you updated on our social media sites for any major updates. But as of right now, as I said yesterday, things can change, and they certainly have. It could be, for us here, coastal New Jersey, you could be looking at 1 or 2 inches, you could be looking at 10. So we'll keep it there, and then obviously, as the new model data comes out, we'll keep you posted and see what this storm is going to bring for us. So until then, subscribe to our YouTube page for more updates. Check us out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget, the weather is the weather. We can only hope it gets better.